conversation in the Ring camera video is alarming. A man standing outside someone's door repeats strange and scary questions, making the situation tense and dangerous. He repeatedly asks, "Are you sure?" and says, "I have a couple of questions," as if trying to damage the person's confidence or confuse them. His voice carries a threatening tone, even though his words start unclear.
You sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you.
As the conversation continues, he becomes more direct, asking, "Is the girl going to come out?" This suggests he might target someone specific inside the house, making the situation even scarier.
What I'm looking for is for the girl that's in the house to come out here because I'm going to rape her and kill her.
The repetition of his questions feels like an attempt to wear down the person on the other side of the door, trying to get them to respond or open up. What makes this exchange terrifying is how unpredictable the man sounds. He mentions the possibility of having a knife or a gun, adding a chilling threat to the conversation. The fact that this is happening right at someone's front door caught on a Ring camera makes the fear even more real. The person inside has no idea what the man can do, and he seems desperate to get in. In a situation like this, it is clear that the person inside should never open the door or respond. Calling the police is the safest move, as the man outside is giving off clear signs that he is dangerous. His irregular questions and the mention of weapons make this a life-threatening moment. This happened when a man's doorbell camera became the target of his nightmare neighbor, Stephen Grove, 56. Stephen claims that the camera invades his privacy and overlooks his house, so he decides to take matters into his own hands. He tried to damage the doorbell not once, not twice, but 3 times this year. The crazy part? Every attempt was caught in perfect, crystal clear HD by the same camera he was trying to destroy. First, he was filmed cutting the wires with pliers. Then, another camera caught him attacking it with a hammer. And as if things could not get any stranger, he even tried to spread the lens with a marker. But his most bizarre act? Removing the door's hinges and nearly getting crushed by it. His behavior did not go unnoticed. Stephen's tricks eventually landed him in court, where he admitted to the damage, but shockingly claimed that the doorbell made him feel like a prisoner in his own home. On the other side, Victoria, the woman living in the home, has a different story. Her uncle, who has learning difficulties, once had a bad fall and was left alone for 45 minutes. She relies on the camera to make sure he is safe. The last thing she wants is a feud, but Stephen's relentless attacks push her to the brink. Sometimes our worst nightmares are not ghosts or monsters. They are the people living right next door. This version captures the tension and frames Stephen as the nightmare neighbor, adding a slightly creepy vibe while staying true to the facts. 7-year-old Taylor never imagined facing something so terrifying just steps from her home. On a quiet day in Arizona, she was playing outside when she suddenly spotted something that sent chills down her spine: a bobcat slowly stalking the street. Panicked, Taylor knew she had to find help. She ran to her neighbor's house, finding no one home. Fear creeping in, she spotted the Ring video doorbell and desperately pressed it. Her neighbor answered through the doorbell camera.
Hi, Lauren. I'm on my way home right now. I'll be out soon, okay?
"Taylor, sweetie, stay right there. We are coming home in 1 minute. Don't move, okay?" Her heart was racing, but Taylor stuck to their hopeful words. She stayed on the patio, glimpsing nervously at the street, imagining the bobcat stalking nearby. "I love my mommy," Taylor whispered, her voice trembling. "It's okay, sweetie," the neighbor replied. "We're almost home. Just stay where you are."
I love my mommy. Okay. It's fine. Just stay there, okay?
The minutes felt like hours. Taylor took her toy ball, her only comfort. The sound of her neighbor's voice over the Ring doorbell was the only thing keeping her calm. "I will call your mom as soon as you are safe inside," they promised. Suddenly, Taylor heard a car pull up. The neighbor was home, and she rushed inside, finally safe from the lurking danger. That day, the Ring doorbell was not just a device, it became her lifeline. Sometimes help comes from the most unexpected places. It was late at night, and the mysterious sound of police sirens echoed in the distance. Suddenly, a shadowy figure appeared, slipping quietly into the lawn of a house. His face was hidden beneath a white cloth, and he carried a plastic bag. Glancing around nervously, he walked up to the front door, placing the bag carefully in front of it. Without a second thought, he moved quickly to the side of the house, keeping his face covered, and rang the doorbell. The Ring doorbell camera captured everything as he pressed the button and quickly ducked out of sight. Moments later, a boy stepped out of the house. He spotted the bag, his face filled with curiosity and fear. Hesitating, he opened it, and whatever was inside shocked him. He jumped back in fear, rushing back into the house. Suddenly, a loud noise erupted from inside. A child's voice could be heard, crying out in pain. It seemed like something terrible was happening inside. Then, the boy's voice joined in, shouting or calling for help. The figure waited outside, listening as the chaos unfolded. Finally, the front door opened again, and the man emerged, his plastic bag now back at hand. He glanced over his shoulder, back at the house one last time, before walking away into the night. What could have been inside that bag, and what happened after the door closed? In the comments, viewers speculate on what might have happened. It was late at night, the house was quiet, the children were finally asleep, and everything seemed peaceful. But then, something strange happened. A man appeared, strolling towards the house. His face was hidden behind a white cloth, only his eyes visible in the dim light. In his hand, he held a crumpled white piece of paper. He made no sound, but he came closer and closer until he was right in front of the doorbell camera. Without a word, he held the paper up to the camera, covering its view. The paper stayed there, almost like a warning. After several moments, he pulled the paper away and rang the doorbell. The sound echoed through the house, waking the parents. They had just put their children to sleep and prepared themselves for bed. Hearing the bell at this hour sent a chill down their spines. Who could it be at this time of night? The father grabbed his gun, heart pounding, and cautiously approached the door. His mind raced with thoughts. Was this just some kids playing a prank, or was someone out there waiting to harm them? He slowly opened the door, the tension rising. What do you think happened next? Was the man outside an innocent stranger, or did he have darker intentions? The truth might be more frightening than you think. It was early in the morning when something strange happened. A guy named Bishop installed a Ring floodlight camera a few nights ago, and it had only ever picked up harmless animals, squirrels, raccoons, birds, but on this particular night, something different appeared. At around 4 a.m., he got an alert that motion was detected. This time, he saw not an insect or a small animal on his camera. It was something far more mysterious. As Bishop watched the footage, he could not believe his eyes. There, floating near the ground, was a strange, glowing creature. At first, he thought maybe it was a moth, but this was different. It moved in a way that did not match anything he had seen. It had a bluish glow, almost as if it were surrounded by light. He zoomed in, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. And then, just as quickly as it appeared, it vanished. 1 second it was there, the next, gone. Bishop went frame by frame, but it had simply disappeared. He even went outside to check. Was it a bug? A leaf? Trash? But nothing was there. He did not say it was a fairy, but it sure looked like something from a storybook. The glowing figure on his camera has left him questioning what happens in the dark when no one is watching. What do you think? A bug or something more mysterious? Late at night, something strange was caught on camera, confusing everyone. A mysterious creature appeared, and no one could figure out exactly what it was. People had different theories. Some jokingly said it was Tinkerbell and her gang of fairies, while others laughed and suggested it might be Kennedy or even Carol Baskin. A few claimed it was just a trick of the wind, saying the leaves were blowing around, creating an illusion. Others thought it might be fireflies or spiders floating in the breeze, carried by invisible threads. But then, some brought up Peter Parker, the famous Spider-Man himself, hinting that this creature may have had some superhuman connection. The glowing floating figure seen in the middle of the night has everyone guessing, but no one knows. It could be a natural phenomenon or something from a comic book. What do you think? Could it be fairies, fireflies, or just a playful trick of the wind? Or is it something else entirely? All we know is that it vanished as quickly as it appeared, leaving only questions behind. Feel free to share your thoughts because your guess is as good as mine. If you have ever had a strange experience caught on camera, let us know in the comments. And remember, sometimes the scariest things happen right on your doorstep. Stay safe and make sure your camera is always rolling.